Hi, I'm Robin Bensley. Welcome to Chow Time. In the north of Portugal, there's an area called the Minho, and it's mountainous and it's very agricultural and it's rustic, and this is where the national soup of Portugal was created. They call it Caldo Verde, which means green soup, and so that is what's on the menu today. Caldo Verde is like a creamy potato soup with greens in it, but there's also a lot of other savory flavors, like onions. So I'm going to take 2 onions and I'm going to chop them. There we go. Now I have in a large soup pot 4 tablespoons of butter and a 1/4 cup of olive oil heating up, and I'm going to add my onions. Along with 4 cloves of garlic that I've minced. And I want to cook these till they're nice and tender. So I want to cook them on a low heat because I really don't want them to brown. And while those are tenderizing, I'm going to work on the potatoes. So you need 6 good-sized Idaho potatoes like this. And there's a little sidebar right now because don't use a potato peeler. Use a paring knife because you want to keep a little bit of meat on them, because you're going to take your potato peels and save them. Put them in a bowl, and then the next day you can spread all the potato peels out on a cookie sheet, drizzle it with olive oil, sea salt, herbs, and roast them, and it's the greatest snack. It's like a healthy potato chip. So never throw away a potato peel. And here's my little bonus, all my potato peels. Here is my trick for storing them. So they don't turn brown. You just cover the whole thing in ice. You can keep these in the refrigerator for up to 3 days. And when you're ready to use them, you don't even have to cover it. When you're ready to use them, you just broil them up with some seasonings, and there's a fabulous snack. Then I just want to cut my potatoes into small chunks. Those are all done. These go into the pot along with the onions and the garlic. Give it a little bit of a stir. Onions always do it for me. Now we're going to add 8 cups of vegetable stock. You can also use chicken stock if you like. we're going to bring this to a boil, and we're going to let this simmer for about a half an hour because I want the potatoes to break down to where they're really mushy. Okay, it's actually been about 40 minutes, but my potatoes are really tender. So here's what you can do. You have a choice. If you want more of a pureed soup, you can use an immersion blender, or you can do what I'm doing. I'm just pressing the potatoes up against the pan and kind of smashing them. So it's kind of chunky and kind of creamy all at the same time. And now I'm going to add 1 pound of baby spinach. I prefer baby spinach because, first of all, it's a little bit sweeter, and secondly, it's not so big, so you don't have to chop it up. We're just going to add the spinach to the soup. Now here's the thing. In Portugal, they use a type of cabbage that I can't buy in my grocery store. You can also use collard greens. You can also use kale. I happen to like spinach in this soup. So we just stir the spinach in until it completely wilts. You know how spinach is. You know, you get a ton of spinach and it wilts down to nothing. Okay, the spinach is all wilted, so just a few more touches. I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. A teaspoon of black pepper. And because cumin reminds me so much of Portugal because they use it in so many things, I'm going to add a teaspoon of cumin. And here is a little trick I learned in Portugal. White wine vinegar. It's so you don't over salt it, but it gives it a nice lift. So you just want to add, maybe a couple tablespoons of white wine vinegar, and that will make such a difference in your soup. So we stir all those spices in. Give it 1 more minute and we are done. Here we go. It's so satisfying and so simple. And by the way, they traditionally serve the caldo verde with cornbread, which is a great addition. And this is the ultimate Portuguese comfort food. And it takes me right back to the menu.